have your say.
Text
now 458-3961. Let KJ and Kirby know what's on your mind. Start your day with a text to My96.
We still got a lot of ground we want to cover in the show here today. By the way, we want to say thank you to all of our Money Vault contestants so far. We had Sherry on about a half an hour ago. Didn't go so well. 0 for 4 in the lot combination. So back to square one, I guess, for 1040 today with Jen Greer up to $350. We also want to talk about the Pitbull ban that maybe you heard a little bit about last week. There is an update to pass along to you. So we'll get to that here. And one other thing that we briefly mentioned yesterday about how one of the worst things you can do at work, you know, somebody might say steal from a coworker. Somebody might say argue with the boss. Somebody might say, I mean, who knows? But crying
at work is terrible.
Okay, we'll talk more about that here in just a bit. All right, it is that time of year again where we love to get some friends in from the Medicine District Community Foundation to talk a little bit about their Vital Signs report, which always comes out early October, and they've got a great luncheon event. And, you know, we always learn a lot about our community, usually good stuff, some things we got to work on, and, you know, every now and then some things that are troubling and definitely things that, you know, maybe a light needs to be cast upon. And I think it's important that we get them in studio right now, and let's talk about it here. Let's get Trish and Warren from the Community Foundation in studio here. Hey, guys, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, hang on. There we go. Good. It's so good to talk to you. Warren, a little bit about the Community Foundation. This is the 10th anniversary this year, and my goodness, we've come a long way.
It is a 10th anniversary. We're obviously very proud of the publication. Started this process back in May with Jay Sanderson, our project director. Committee of 9 people started going through the data from local agencies, provincial data, national data, StatsCan data, and started to put together what we think is a very well-rounded snapshot of the vitality of Medicine Hat right now.
Now, this report is, I mean, it's a portion of what you do, but another part of what you do that is oh so important is literally helping people in our community. So talk a bit about that.
It is. I've been on the board now for 6 years, I believe. And what we do, the 3 pillars of what we do is we're an endowment. We create custom philanthropy for people. So they come to us, they have something that's near and dear to them, and we make it happen. We work with other agencies, we invest that money for them, and then we give out grants twice a year, responsible granting. And what Vital Signs does is it helps us decide where that grant money is going to go, where the needs are in the community. So when people come to us looking for a grant, if they look through Vital Signs, that's where they're going to have that's where we want to focus as a community foundation.
So explain to me how the endowment thing works. Like, it began 10 years ago, basically just a large sum of money, and a lot of the payouts come from the interest on that. Is that kind of how it works?
That's right. Right about now, we have about $11.2 million in current assets. Okay. That would mean last year we gave out around $400,000 in grants in 2 cycles. So yes, we take that interest and give it back to the community.
All right. The report is now out. Trish, talk a little bit about all the work that has gone into this. I mean, it's a beautiful report. It is crammed with information that would probably take all year to fully digest everything in there. I'd imagine that the information gathering is something that literally, you know, I mean, if the report is released this week, the new report is already well underway for next year.
Absolutely. Data collection starts with the census in prior years. We had an assistant project coordinator that did all of our data collection. She's now back in Victoria, but Delaney Hogan did an awesome job for us getting all this together this year. So we're very lucky to have her help us out.
Let's talk about the report itself. Kirby's flipping through it right now here, and as Kirby said earlier, she says it's a great read. I mean,
I like reading this,
sure.
and last year, you know, at the luncheon that's happening this Thursday, we were all assigned each table a different section, and we had to discuss discussed it. I felt like I was back in school. We got housing. I didn't know anything we were talking about in regards to housing, but I pretended. You were at the table too, Kim, and you pretty much spoke for everybody. But
I got a habit of that. Sorry.
And so, were there anything that anything that really stood out that was like such a shocking thing? Like anything in regards to rates or just anything that stood out in this year's vital signs report?
Well, one of the things that stood out to me was the volunteer rate being 61% in Medicine Hat. We have an amazing community, and people stand up and
so
do the
basically
right
meaning
thing.
like 6 in 10 Hatters have at least one volunteer cause that they get behind.
Yeah, as opposed to the 43.6 overall in Canada. So
Excellent.
Great community we live in.
Way to go, guys. Warren, how about you? Anything in this year's Vital Signs report that really struck you completely unexpectedly?
I think there's two that I'm going to focus on. One is year over year EI recipients. The increase this year was 51% for Medicine Hat.
Okay.
From June 2015 to June 2016.
Significant.
Compared to 30% in Red Deer, increase of 30% in Red Deer, and an increase of 28% in Lethbridge.
Okay.
So you look at that, that's, again, conversation starter. Well, what does that mean for us? Well, I'll let everybody sit down and talk about that. But another one that we found out through getting data from local groups was our firefighters. And the response time for firefighters this year, 90% of the structure fires that they respond to, they get to in under 7 minutes.
Which is, 7 minutes from what I hear is the target. And so when they can routinely get there well beforehand, that speaks volumes about them as a service and about the safety of our community then.
They're doing a great job, and we had lots of data from them this year, and we really appreciate all the information that they gave us.
All right. Kirby, anything else you're seeing in the report there that you're finding particularly interesting?
Yeah, it's one of those things that okay, there's just a few things here. Let's see. Smoking percentage has gone down significantly. That's kind of interesting.
Because I know that in past reports, we've it's been troubling that the percentage of smokers in our city, for whatever reason, has been significantly greater than other communities in our province. I'm not sure why, but it seemed like Hatters, for one reason or another, not quite as healthy as maybe some other communities. And I know that starting the conversation is the first step in perhaps fixing the problem. Would you guys not agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it is, and we've focused on a lot of that data for 10 years. So you can see the comparison, what we tried to do this year. You can look back over the last 10 years and see how we've done.
Trish Richard, Warren Starr, Community Foundation in studio here. Vital Signs is in our hands right now and to be made public when? This Thursday? Is that?
It's actually public online today.
Okay.
Copies can be attained at the luncheon on Thursday at the beverage if you want to still come. Tickets are available till the end of today by calling the office or on eventbrite.ca.
Thursday, Beverage Building downtown. That's the new building on 2nd Street that is so beautifully fixed up. So we encourage you to get your tickets now for that event. And like I say, start the conversation. We all want to see our community grow and continue to be vibrant and, really just become an even better place to be. And if we can start it all with this report and with the event on Thursday, I think we're looking good. Final words, Trish and Warren. Guys?
I just want to say that we are very proud to have 10 years of Vital Signs and that we're looking forward to Thursday and celebrating some of our successes over the past 10 years and hope to see a lot of you guys out there.
All right. Warren?
I want to thank you guys for having us, really, and allowing us to share our story and start that conversations with as many people in Medicine Hat as possible.
All right. Eventbrite.ca to get your tickets for the Vital Signs luncheon this Thursday, 527-9038. Trish, is that right? 527-9038?
You bet.
To get your tickets. There you go. Trish Richard, Warren Starr, Community Foundation. Vital Signs out now.
Getting your day rolling.
It is time to turn things up.
My Mornings with KJ and Kirby on My 96.